The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. You landed here and it's no mistake. You best believe this could be your break. Rub-a-dub-dub, check out the hubs inside. A winning team is here to be your guide. Oh, my friend, you've been looking for a brand new day. I got good news, only a click away. You can click on any hub, 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 hub. You are sure to feel the love, 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 love. Got some stories in my book, hope you'll take the time and look. The message in this simple read: teens, young adults, help them succeed. Scroll on down, got more to say. Go blogs, let's take it away. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know you're worth no need to beg, selling with no pressure is more fun. Instead, financial freedom has been calling you. Come join a hub, see what it will do. Come on and dance along with me. We go into the next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level. 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 Next level with Keith. The next level. The next level. The next level. Next level with Keith. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know you're worth no need to beg, selling with no pressure is more fun. Instead, the next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith.
Welcome to the Next Level with Keith, where clarity replaces confusion and simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise. Rethinking your thinking, because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk, it's guidance, it's strategy, it's movement. Welcome to the Next Level with Keith. Let's begin.
Welcome to the Next Level with Keith. And we're talking podcast episode 19, May 4th, 2026. And yet again, I'm excited to be here. And I hope you decide to join me tonight on this adventurous episode. which is titled hmm, Rolex versus Timex. Rolex versus Timex. Understanding value, building wealth. Rolex versus Timex. Yes, so folks, again, thank you for joining me here. And for those of you who have been really following me and just checking me out from week to week to week since I started, it means a whole lot. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And for those of you who may not be sure that you are still a subscriber, what you want to do, because sometimes from time to time, folks get unsubscribed and don't even know it. All right. So, what you can do for me is to go ahead and click on that button again. Click on that subscribe button again to make sure you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. And I have a whole lot of stuff that's on its way. So you want to make sure you do that, okay? And also spread the word. Like and share and comment. I love it. Uh this morning when I woke up this morning, I woke up to news that was quite disturbing. You know that airline called the Spirit Airlines? They are now, I understand, officially out of business. They are no longer in business. But on top of that, I'm hearing like over 17,000 workers lost their jobs. Just like that. Over 17,000 workers has lost their jobs. And when I heard those numbers, some thoughts came to my mind. Yes, it did. And one of the first thought that came to my mind was, man, I'm thankful. You know, there go, but for the grace of God, there go I. All right. I don't have a job loss currently, thank God. You know, I was able to go to the medical facility last week. I had some pains, and I was able to go to the emergency, and I had insurance. I was covered. All right. So I'm grateful for those things. A lot of folks may take it for granted, but I was like, wow, when you have a job loss, if you think about it, on a deeper level, it's very impacting to not only the individual, but those who are close to the individual, like families or maybe kids or maybe a spouse, right? You're thinking about a job loss. And also, what I thought was that I wonder how many of these individuals had a side hustle, had a second job. That came to my mind. I wonder what percentages of people out of these 17,000 workers had a preparation in place. How many had 6 months of savings, emergency cash? All right, that's very, very important to think about. And so when I look at the world at large, there are many issues that happens in our world, among seniors, among those baby boomers who are looking to retire, those who are looking to get into in the workforce, all right, and the kids that are coming. There are so many different dynamics and issues and challenges and so forth. I'm not here to fix them all. I can't fix them all, neither can you. What I need to do is to do my part, all right? To do my part, how can I impact my sphere of influence, my space that I've been given? This podcast here is a real blessing. The persons behind this, it's a real blessing. The skill sets, the network, it's a real blessing to be able to share this on a wider scale, a wider platform, and to watch it grow. And it's truly, truly a powerful thing. So, yes, you think about the effect of what just happened, you know, and I will get to my topic and subject soon, but I really want to kind of just highlight this because a big part of what I'm trying to convey on this podcast is preparation for the future, and I would say the near future. All right. I mentioned job loss. I mean, there have been thousands of job losses over the last year or two, and there are thousands more. In fact, there are millions more that is said that's going to be slated next couple of years from now. A lot more jobs is going to be disappearing in front of our eyes. All right. And many people at this point not sure where to go, what to do. All right. There's a big push for people, especially adults, to learn AI. All right. To learn some tools, all right, to be prepared. And it's been pushed as you don't need to spend years like you folks did in college and take out big loans and all those things. They're saying 28 days, 30 days, very inexpensive, but start. That's been pushed a lot lately as I observed the online space. And so you think about those folks who had just lost their job. Think about the years of service, some maybe 10, 15, 20, gone. Health benefits, gone. Security, gone. Family members who have been impacted directly, gone. And you know what they say, folks? The number one killer is stress because you have stress and anxiety can lead to so many other things, right? And illnesses and problems and just it goes on and on and on. But I digress with the point. The point is that I'm glad for those of you who are here, and I hope that you are actually making use of the information here. I have blogs on this particular network, this podcast. There's blogs everywhere to give you a lot of insights. There are hubs, there are tools, there are stuff you can just click on, become a member, and get yourself acclimated to what's happening so you can be prepared. Because I believe, and I'm not being a naysayer here or someone who's a doomsday speaker, but I believe that we're about to see some days in this world and in this place we call the America, the great America, the great USA, some days where we're going to see hunger like we never imagined and pain like we never imagined. And that's something that I'm looking forward to. But the signs are pointing there. It's like the handwriting is on the wall. All right. And sometimes I believe that there's always a chance to get prepared. And we can do it many ways. I know I don't forget this spiritual part of our lives, which to me is the most important thing. My connection with my creator is the most important thing. And wherever you find yourself in this world, you're there for a reason, I believe. It's not accident. I believe it's divine purpose. And we just ought to know what that is. All right. Because believe me, where you think you are may be bad and tough and hard. There are some places where it is so bad. It's like your life is their prayer point. They would love to be at your point of despair. That would be their prayer point. Like, get me to that point of your pain. That's how bad some folks have it. So, with that said, I really want to kind of emphasize tonight on the audience in general and looking at people. And as the title says, Rolex versus Timex. And then when you hear that statement, the title, what comes to your mind? All right. Now, I never assume, really, I never really assume because there are folks who may not even know what I'm saying. When I say Rolex or Timex, all right, I'm referring to watches, all right, watches. And even more importantly, the kind of watches I'm referring to, the contrast, all right? And I think about the mindset or the attitude. right? Or the type of persons using those two words, Rolex and Timex. All right, they both tell time, that's for sure. They both tell time, right? So sometimes we find ourselves, some say, sharing, marketing, selling to the wrong people. And for years, I've been saying that I'm sharing, not selling. But technically, we all sell, whether directly or indirectly. All right. When you go to a place like a fast food chain, whichever one you frequent, or certain stores, when you go to these establishments and you purchase food or whatever they're selling there, they give you a bag. On the bag is the company's logo, the company's brand. So you're walking on the street, could be in an urban area, right? The city, very dense, a lot of people, right? And you walk in with a bag, you're advertising that bag to people without even knowing, and to yourself as well. You're enforcing the company that you just bought something from. And some people will actually see the bag, almost subliminally feel hungry for that particular product, not knowing that they just saw your bag with the logo on there. And they will see that thing and just go and say, "Oh, I feel I want to have some chicken this particular place, or I want to buy some whatever, buy clothing at this particular place." But something happened that you probably didn't realize. Something very subtle. Your mind saw that bag. You probably didn't realize that it was. I mean, consciously that you saw the bag, but your minds did. Your eyes did. Your mind did. And of course, here it comes. You want to go eat that food or buy that clothing. But you think about the title again: Rolex versus Timex. So interesting, I thought. And like I said to you, a lot of my titles, they don't come from me just trying to force them out. They kind of come randomly. I could be in the shower, or could be just walking, laying down, or I may hear a particular message or see something online and something hit me. I'm like, I could use that for a title. All right. And again, thank God for those experts behind the scene who take my idea sometimes and enhance it even more. All right. And make it even more beautifully laid out and, curated for you, the viewer. So I'm thankful. I don't sit here as a one man band or as an island. I'm telling you, folks, I can't say and I can't stress it enough. You're looking at teamwork at play. All right, you're looking at teamwork and network here at play. And even though I believe my audience is mainly geared towards 40 to 60-year-old individuals, there's some folks who are young. They're 18, 20s, 25, 30. They see this thing. They're hungry. All right. They are like beyond their years as far as their experience and their understanding. And their folks, they get it very young. And if you do, hey, let's rumble, let's roll. I heard my pastor said in church this past Sunday that sometimes the young folks don't know what they're missing by staying away from the older folks and not sitting with them and learning from them and understanding where they come from and get some of those nuggets, those wisdom keys. All right. They kind of see them as isolated and not relevant. And I hope that someday we can bridge the gap. And I hope that this show will somehow bridge that gap. All right. Because there's so much I have in my heart, in my mind to bring out. And I know when I did my first episode, I was like, man, I got so much more I want to share. So I'm thankful for what I've been able to accomplish so far. Um, and for all that I'm hearing and response I'm getting. And you're going to hear some of those responses in a little bit as to what the viewers and maybe some of the subscribers are saying in reference to what they're hearing and what they're drawing from and how it has impacted them so far. And for me, trust me, for me, for moi, it's a big deal. All right. It's very encouraging. Believe me, it really is. So again, episode 19. My God, time is going. Time is going. Let's look at this. What if this? What if I told you this? The reason you're not making money is not because people don't want what you have. It's because you're speaking Rolex to a Timex audience. You're speaking Rolex to a Timex audience. Or even worse, you're trying to sell Timex in a room full of Rolex minds. Let's talk about it. Can we? Let's deep dive in there. And trust me, I think all of us might be guilty of that. And it's okay. It's okay. You know, there's a parable that's in the Bible, and he talks about the sower and the seed. And in this case, the sower was someone who was sowing the seed, and he talked about different soils the seed fell on, right? And the soil represented the individual's heart, the heart condition of each individual's. And talk about when some seed fell on the stony ground, all right? The stony ground, of course, it did fall, but when it started growing up, because it's a stony ground, there's not much nutrients and place for it to go and get the depth in the earth. It just didn't last. It couldn't stay, couldn't stand. Let's talk about those by the wayside, all right, where you have folks walking by, trample that thing. It's not the wrong place for it to drop. All right, that's about the different heart condition. All right, talk about those by the thorns. All right, and so therefore, of course, when they grow up, they do grow, but the thing that choke them. You've seen those some of those plants where the thorn and the other things come and just suck out the life out of it. All right, even when it starts to grow and looking like it's about to happen, and then they have now the other one, which is a good ground, solid ground, ready to take it, pliable, open, not fixed minded, open minded, growth mindset. All right, and that seed flourish in that kind of environment. So it's important for us to understand the audience that we are actually relating to. All right. And sometimes it may take time to understand the audience. It may take time. And I think sometimes having folks respond to you let you know that, listen, I'm on the right track here because the response I'm getting seems to be in alignment with who I'm trying to reach. All right. And I think that's why I always ask that you would comment and you would give me feedback because it's not a one man band. I'm not here to stuff some stuff down your throat or to kind of force stuff on you. As much as I would like to impact you, I also want you to know that it's impacting you. When you know that it's impacting you, and I know that by you letting me know that it's impacting you a certain way, then now I know even more so how to gauge my material, my message, and have make it have more clarity if it needs to, or more depth if it needs to, or more simplified if it needs to. All right. I don't want to talk over your heads now, right? I don't want to talk over your heads. I want to be able to connect with you and we can grow together and build something very, very strong. All right. So before we deep dive into tonight's episode, right? I'd like to spotlight a few of the comments on some of my previous episodes. Not necessarily in order, but there's different shows over the last few months uh, that have come in. All right, and a few of them are like this. Someone said the 72-hour bounce back rule makes a lot of sense. That's after the person heard one of my episodes. Two, excellent breakdown. That's what someone says. AI is making scams feel almost undetectable, but breaking down the tactics like deepfakes, fake reviews, and phishing while offering practical countermeasures like building a strong circle or stacking sustainable gives real actionable value. So that was a particular episode I was talking about what we have to be careful on, online, and how folks might be phishing and trying to get your information, trying to get into your some of your accounts and create havoc. All right. So I try to cover different things. So I suggest if you're new, I'm gonna go back to some of my episodes. All right. Um, podcast .keithmarriott.com. All right. And you can check out some of my previous episodes. I try to bring a lot of important, valuable information. And that was one of the reviews that came from that. It talks about AI is really doing things nowadays just like crazy, making things seem undetectable. And that's why I talked about a network as such, where it gives more credibility. There are folks around, there's a network that you can get to be a part of and feel more insulated. All right. Not some lone fish out there in this wide ocean, because that's where folks get attacked. If you look at the animal kingdom, and look at how you have a pack of, say, buffaloes or whatever cattle running down or run away from wild beasts, right? Or run away from animals that's about to snatch them, or try to eat them, or try to kill them. All right, you notice the animal that's just trying to get one of these cattle or these particular animals, they look for those who are more so on the outskirts, those who are vulnerable, those who are not insulated, right? Those who look like they're lagging back on their own, maybe injured or weak, all right? And they go for those first. So that's why it's important to get yourself into a network of different individuals within the network who can communicate with you, help you in different ways. It's just safer, all right, and better. So I talk about those things as well. All right. Someone said, uh, entrepreneurs at any stage should take notes from this one. All right. Someone said, good content. Thanks for sharing. Someone said, the idea of refocusing instead of overthinking is powerful. Oh, that was a great episode. I talked about people just overthinking, not taking action, not taking initiatives, procrastinating. All right. I talk about those things as well. Someone said, Stack and Grow makes so much sense for long term wins. Of course, it's one of my segment here, Stack and Grow, which is coming up very soon. I'm going to highlight some stuff on that. So make sure you don't go nowhere. Make sure you're here. All right. So, officially, looking at this word, rethink your thinking. Big word. Rethink your thinking. And sometimes, to be fair, it's one of the hardest thing to do. Rethink your thinking. Think about this. What do you believe right now that's close to your heart? A lot of you could say maybe my religion or my belief system. Think about someone trying to change that if they thought you were wrong. Think about how hard that seemed for someone to come and trying to change you from that core belief that you have. All right. And sometimes too often we allow things that I think should be secondary issues become major issues. On this podcast, a lot of my encouragement is for you to develop financial freedom. For many years, even as a musician, before I was doing the solo saxophone things now in my social events, for many years, I was a writer, I was a young writer. I sang, I played the drums, I sang with a bunch of other men, and we had a powerful group, powerful harmony, and we traveled many places and we sang. And the one thing that was always a challenge was the financial strain that was always present. We had guys who sang their hearts out, but had to rush to go back to work on Monday because enough wasn't being made, doing what they loved and were passionate about. All right. I remember days we had to fly in the highway after Saturday, Sunday night performances because guys had to go to work on Mondays. Sometimes going to work tired, sleepy. I remember being very tired one time going back to work and almost lost my job. And so a big part of my objective here is that folks find ways and means to empower themselves financially. All right, this is not a Bible class. I'm having here. It's not a sermon I'm trying to preach. And from time to time, I would go in that Bible. I would dig in there. I would reference it because it's a foundational tool and it's very practical. And believe me, a lot of what people do right now in the business world, a lot of ideas and formulas and and in key points come from the Bible. You'll be shocked. A lot of it is just repackaged. All right. And so a lot of what I do here, belief is behind it, faith is behind it. And when I say faith and belief, I'm talking about I believe the right person will come. I believe the right people will see this at the right time. I believe that. All right. I don't necessarily know, but I believe it. And I think over time I'm seeing that taking place. Right now, there could be a hungry young man or a hungry young woman who may be in jail. Maybe someone who came out of jail, did time, and have a whole different perspective, a whole different hunger on what they need to do or can do, or what they can bring to someone who have not seen that world or been a part of that world, can actually bring and impact lives. Many churches just don't know what to do. They're not equipped. They're highly insulated, and they don't even know the impact and the power they have. All right. And a lot of it, of course, it stems down from sometimes bad teaching or just over spiritualizing things and not practicalizing things enough. All right. The Bible talk about in the world we should dominate, we should have dominion. All right. The Bible says occupy till he comes. Occupy, it means that we actively engage in the everyday affairs of life, be it in education, be it in medical, be it in political, in whatever area we find ourselves, we can be impactful. All right. And that's the idea. So we think you're thinking, uh, you're looking at how are we going to present ourselves? All right. What sacrifice are we willing to make to reach that audience that we are so looking to reach? So you think about, again, Rolex and Timex do tell the time. The Rolex and Timex does tell time. Pretty much same function, but completely different value. Completely different value. One sells status, all right, legacy, identity, and that's good. And there's an audience for that. All right. And the other sells reliability, access, practicality. A lot of what I share with people is low entry because most people are not heavy risk takers. They are more, you know, skeptical, which is quite fine. It's okay to be skeptical, right? But don't stop there. All right. Don't let that be the guiding force for your ultimate reason for not doing what you need to do and stepping out and making things happen, right? It just means you want to be cautious and be mindful. Reliability is important. Access important. Practicality is important. The phone would be a perfect example of a reliability, access, practicality. We want to what? Want to deal with something that's reliable. We also want what? Be able to have access. Now, there's never been a time before in history where we have so much access at our fingertips. There's never been a time where we've had so much access and so quickly at our fingertips and practicality. What are we looking for? Connection, simplicity, all right? Um, things have to be able to duplicate. That's important, all right? So now it's here where it gets real. Research consistently shows that over 60 to 70% of consumers, especially in working and middle income communities, make purchasing decisions based on perceived value and immediate utility, not luxury or branding. All right. That's why in the past, when I've done some of those home based business, I had great products I was selling or sharing or marketing. I mean, we talked about health aspect of it. It would help the family be healthier, healthier home, better equipment, better products. But after 2 3 months, that family says we have to eat, and I got to pay my rent or my phone bill. I'm not gonna compromise my bill or my rent for this expensive product, even though it's a healthy one. And so they don't go for the healthy product anymore. They go for the big bottle, a 3 liter bottle that can feed the entire family. Rather than saying, let me buy one small juice that may be so healthy for just me alone. Practicality. All right. And so I've learned those things. And so right now, to date, I can brag about a company. If you're invested in your health, they are selling the lowest cost product in the country, the lowest of wellness suite of products will be available to you, and it's not something that will take you out of your budget, I believe. I can brag about that. That's important to me. So it reaches the masses. Affordability, yet health conscious, healthy. That's powerful. Again, like I said, as you watch this podcast here, remember there are hubs. And I guess before the show is over, I'm gonna probably have the engineer just do a little scroll through a little bit at some point and just give you some visuals, and I can get to the hubs and join for free, of course. Don't cost you anything. And see how you can maximize what's here. So think about in certain communities. In this case, think about the black communities today where the cost of living is rising. Access to capital is limited. and financial pressure is real. I mean, folks, I mean, the last time I went to the gas pump, I'm looking at 4.60 something a gallon for a regular. That's the lowest grade. That's 87 octane. 90, 89, 90, and 93. That's much higher. They mentioned diesel. All right. I talk about we may see hunger in this country. Those trucks who running diesel, a lot of them are wondering, hey, if suppose gas goes to $6, $7, $8, is it possible? Who says it's not possible? All right. I just start thinking, should I make this trip? Will me buying gas worth it? Will I make anything if I do this? Having those conversations among themselves. It's real. So wait, how do we get our foods and stuff? Who bring those things across? Who brings those things across to us? Truckers and some of these transportation. And for them to be dealing with these gas issues. Oh, that's real. That's real talk. All right. Like I said, look what it says. Over 60 to 70% of consumers, especially in working and middle income communities, make purchasing decisions based on perceived value and immediate utility, not luxury. All right. When economy is like as such, people not looking so much for luxury. People in general looking to see how can I make it to this week, to the month. All right, that's real. And so people are asking, is this prestigious? They're asking, will this help me survive, stabilize, or move forward? They're asking those questions. So if your business is positioned wrong, you're not just missing sales, you're missing connection. Sometimes in life you feel you have the golden goose. All right. You feel you have the golden goose or the golden hen, how to put it. And I feel that in my over 20 years of, as my coach said, researching, I call it failing miserably. All right. And having some really crazy outcomes. But yes, researching, learning, I realized that I think I've found the golden geese. Now, I can't make you believe that by just saying it, right? But I can tell you, I think I have the evidence if you want to prove it. All right. So I can say I have a wonderful music site, but I can prove it to you. All right. Me saying that is not enough. You can prove it by going to my hub and checking me out. That's how you know. Anyway, let me move on. So let's look at an important element in life because maybe you don't know, but I know that I've been stacking and so have you been stacking. Maybe you didn't see that way, but we're going to stack and grow. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stack and grow.
The next level, the next level, the next level with Keith.
Stack it up, stack it up, stack and grow. You know, I kind of really learned some things. Some things was unearthed because of my coach, and stack and grow was a thing that I didn't really understand or even capitalize on. And I thought that a lot of my stacking was unnecessary. And I would almost want to disregard it and kind of put it into my experience. And I realized that I was doing an injustice to myself. All right. But when you see that thing come together, It's like you go to an event, like a wedding or a birthday party or some kind of social event, and they would play like a clip of the person's history when they were like one, and when they were five, and when they were 11, 15, and when they became started college and they finished college and they got married and they had kids, then they have grandkids and great grand. It's like, wow, to see how that life just morphed. And they show you step by step that young child, male or female, how they're now 80, 90. And looking back at their life, it looks so rich. Each of those photos that was taken may have seemed insignificant and whatever. But when you put them all together and look over that life, you're like, wow. You see the richness, you see the blessings, you see the understanding the person may have. And sometime when a person, especially a funeral, you're like, man, I wish I went to that person, talk with that person, because obviously they know a lot. Because look at what they showed us just by pictures alone. Just images alone, they showed you so much. Imagine if you spend time with that person and dig in their soul and understand certain things. Wow. You know what I mean? So these shows I hope will encourage you to make some moves, maybe make some changes. So talk about rethink your thinking, right? Do some things differently. We're not talking about saying change your core beliefs and some of those core hard things that you hold on to. We're not talking those. We're talking about things that you know you can change, especially those of you who are looking for that financial lift. And you've heard from you're young, you go to school, you get your degree, go to college, you get a good job, right? We know that's not working anymore. Some say get a good job, get a good company, get a good package, good pension. We know that's out the door. All right. So are we going to keep thinking the same way, ongoing? Or are we going to level up and go and start rethinking how we can make them things happen? Because a lot of times it won't come to us. We have to literally fight for it. We have to go and get it. All right. Now it is there, but it takes that effort to really go and dig and find that thing and make it happen. All right. Now look at Stack and Grow. Your income doesn't just come from what you sell; it comes from who you are prepared to serve. That's very powerful. It comes from who you are prepared to serve. Data shows this: business that clearly define their target audience are up 2x more profitable. I'm saying it again: business that clearly define their target audience are up 2x more profitable. People trust brands that reflect their reality and lived experience. You see my shirt right here? It's my shirt. It may seem simple to you. All right, the next level. All right, with Keith, right here, my shirt. Seems simple, but you know what? For years, I pushed every kind of lotion, potions, pills. I can take it, make it how you can see it. Next level. See, here we go. Next level with Keith. I'm afraid to show you that right here. I'll see even more. See that? Yeah, that's branding. That's branding myself. All right, because I realized that I felt crazy after a while pushing the juice, then pills, then electronics, then something legal, then something communication, and something. And it's like sometimes the business goes away, it dies, it disappears, it's no more, and it's not your fault. And you've told people to go there, go there, go there, who trusted you. So you end up looking really bad, all right? Folks don't trust you like that because you have all these brands all over the place. So keep it simple. Whatever I do, it's Keith. Back in the picture, I have a saxophone. That's me. A guitar. That's me. All right. The coffee that's there. I drink coffee sometimes. So I'm not afraid to put a coffee cup on my screen. That's me. All right. I love music. That's me. I'm a church boy. That's me. All right. Still Keith. And so when I share, it's just an extension of what I do, what I'm passionate about. And each area that I talk about, each area that I share, it's really me I'm sharing with you. All right. I am glad that I'm having the success I'm having. And in the song that I wrote, which I actually produced that song myself, I have a line that says, even if someone doesn't support me, it doesn't dictate me failing. All right. I love support and I want to support you. We all should support each other. But I don't want it to be reliant on you for my success. All right. And so I take this moment, these moments, to be able to share with you that you're powerful. You are blessed. You have what it takes. You have the goods already inside of you. The issue I think we have many times is connecting and making a connection. All right. It's like going to a church and they're singing in the praise and worship section and you're watching when really you should be also praising as well. It's not to watch them praise, it's to praise along with them. But many times we are watching like an audience when you are missing out your portion of what's supposed to be yours. So when I hear network, some of you might be watching this. You may have a book inside of you. I have a book inside of me, and I wrote the book. I believe, and the book is out on Amazon and different places. All right. You may have an idea, but you need support. Some of you, all you want to do is just have one consultation, and you'll be blown away as to the possibility of where you can go next. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. I have this idea. What can I do with this idea? And the idea is on my idea. I'm going to tell you something that's very powerful. And I was blown away, almost to tears. There was a CEO who have over 50 years of experience online, very experienced, and have a track record of success in the past. Right, a track record of success. He started this program for the masses. I want to hear me clearly, for the masses. But somewhere along the line, I saw the disconnect clearly, and other folks like myself saw and felt the disconnect. And I watched this man talk about this vision, talk about the things, and looks like he was in heaven talking about it. And I'm seeing that, sir, there's a disconnect. But what I admire about this man, what I loved, I said, why he's gonna win, why he's gonna be so powerful. He humbled himself and asked the local guys, the guys who are not in the spotlight, the guys who are on the ground, what do you think? Guys like me, what's your take on this? What's your idea on that? We say, and we say to him, sir, love your idea. However, consider this. We've got to connect with these people, and we know how to do it. And we gave suggestions. And guess what happened? He took those suggestions. My God. I said, if nothing else, I'm like, some people, when they pass 50, 60, 70, they're stuck. They cannot change. They can't bend anymore. They can't even be flexible. They're like stuck for life. This man was not. This man was open to hear from people who don't have any money close to what he has, the success that he has. We are nothing close to his financial success. But he's saying to us, "What do you think?" And now we're about to see a tidal wave of success across this country and the world because of what he did. Opened up himself to listen to what we're saying. Now we all I'm saying to you, check out the hubs. All right? Check out the that's all I'm gonna say to you guys. Check out the hubs. But I'm excited. All right. Let's look at some let's look at this. There's some practical solution based business that we want to look at. All right. Practical based business are thriving. They are. Practical solution based business are thriving. And it's the reason why. And for those that help people, oh yeah. There's a quote from a man named Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people to get what they want, you will get what you want. I'm paraphrasing a little bit there, but it makes sense. If you help people to get what they want, you'll get what you want. All right. So when it comes to like making extra income, all right, that's a practical thing that we can look at. Reduce expenses. That's a practical thing that we can look at. Build simple systems. All right. So you have a business that says you can make extra income. All right. Now, how we go about doing that? What are the methods and means? Because many things it's not duplicable. People can't connect with it. It becomes a problem. All right. Some things it has to fall into place a certain way where it has to be seamless, streamlined a certain way where those folks will be able to put their hands on it and be able to understand how to navigate it. All right. So this kind of solution-based business, these are the components of what it entails. All right. So when you have reduced expenses, all right, and when you have systems that are in place, all right, takes out the heavy lifting that we have to do. We follow the systems. We understand the systems. We work the systems. All right. I'm someone who is big on simplicity because sometimes I got told folks all the time that I run up on different systems and some I run from it. I really do. I'm honest with you. Some system I'm like, no, no, that's not my cup of tea. All right. And some systems are like, yes, even though it takes some learning curve and a little patience, but there's a connection. There's you feel somewhat of alignment with that system, and it works. All right. And so that's where real movement is. All right. Practical solution based business are thriving because of those things. All right. Help them make extra income because we are looking for that. They allow to reduce expenses. Very important. All right. And they have simple system in place where you can acclimate yourself to very easily and readily to move forward. So looking at your circle now, it's not a key component. Your circle, your currency.
The next level, the next level, the next level, the next level with Keith.
So your circle, your currency. I've talked a lot about your circle, and I will keep on talking about it because it's such a foundational thing, right? Your circle. Here's the truth that a lot of people avoid. You can't attract who you don't understand. You can't attract who you don't understand. In fact, two mistakes we keep making, a lot of us keep making, is one is speaking above people instead of speaking to them or with them. Two, trying to sell before building trust. Now, I had a conversation with my coach recently, and she pointed out to me something that I thought was interesting. And in life, sometimes you don't often always agree with someone, all right? But you listen and see what you can gain from that person. Because I think a lot of things happen. Sometimes happen for some weird reason why, and sometimes it's for that one person who may need to hear that thing. All right. Sometimes you may say, you know what? I think the show was a horrible show. Maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I was too soft. Maybe I was too rushy, or maybe I wasn't patient enough, or maybe I was this and maybe I was that. But you just don't know who is listening, and they would say, "Oh, I needed that. That was perfect." Because sometimes that soft, caring answer works. Sometimes that urgency that you want to express, that sense of accountability that you want to put forth, it might be needed. All right. And so I listen, I try to process, and I say, you know what? That's Keith. All right, that's Keith. And whatever you get from me is what you're gonna get. I'm gonna use my hopefully my circle who may have more insight and may have more experience, draw from them, and hopefully synergize the right way and synergize effectively, in other words, to make the best outcome. Sometimes having a good outcome maybe could have been a better outcome or the best outcome. All right. So again, it goes back to circle your network, because sometimes you don't see things from the person's perspective. You see it from your own perspective, and sometimes that can lock you up into a narrow nest that you don't even know. But when someone can say, "Hey, you know what? Look at this or look at that," and you can let them feel that they can trust being themselves with you. Sometimes trust, as a part of trust as well. When the person who criticizes you, feel comfortable in doing so, because that's for your growth and benefit in the long run. But if you're overly sensitive and overly, egotistical or prideful, then you can lose out. So I do welcome criticism, and some of you have said some really wonderful things. And even with something negative, I wouldn't take it that way. I would try to figure out what am I getting, learning from that particular person. What's that person saying to me? Is it, does it, is something I can maybe look into or add to my understanding? All right. So far, I'm not being cussed out yet. I'm not being cussed out. I'm not being chewed out yet. I'm not being disdained yet. I'm not. And like I said, I don't know who's out there may see something that needs work or they can criticize. I'm open. But at the same time, again, I believe that I'm being very careful and mindful in how I deliver things, having the support of if mentor or coach to oversee and give me insights and ideas and advice. All right. So that's very helpful. So a big part of what I'm doing is because of the help I'm getting as well. All right. Again, network. All right. Because when you get that help, it helps to keep you in line. It helps to keep you on the straight and narrow, so to speak. All right. And so your circle is very important. Here, here's the truth most people avoid. You can't attract who you don't understand. I did say that, and I'd say it again. You can't attract who you don't understand. Studies on economic mobility show that your network directly impacts your financial outcomes. Not just who you know, but how you can communicate with them. Not just who you know, but how you communicate with them. Two mistakes we keep making, and hopefully can avoid these mistakes, right? That's the idea. Speaking above people instead of speaking to them, trying to sell before building trust. In communities, we trust, sorry, in communities where trust pretty much has been historically broken, trust is not optional, it is currency. All right. Now, it's so interesting because someone pointed out to me that sometimes trust takes time. In my mind and what I'm seeing happening in the world, I see where there's a really quick move on things changing. I'm seeing where things are really speeding up real fast. And I think a lot of my idea of sharing with people, or you would say selling to people, as I have a sense of urgency and expediency that's bursting outside my belly, so to speak. So this surge of we gotta move, we gotta get things going, I think come across as selling too quickly without building trust. And so I realized that under the supervision of someone who understands and more experienced online, say no. Don't think that you have you it's a long time. I'm thinking really, in my understanding, I'm thinking, wow, all right, the person, no, it takes time for that trust to develop. All right. And so putting back in perspective of okay, got it. All right. So right now it's really about just reminding you that you're on track. A lot of you, why I highlighted your comment is because it's a big deal for you to actually take out time of your out of your own moment and write something down. That to me is very significant. I don't think it's small at all. That's a big deal for me because I'm seeing where you making a move, and maybe the next move is that you know what, I'm gonna take it a step further. But that's a very important move, very important pivot to actually write something down, good or bad. And thank God so far it's been wonderful. I appreciate you guys. Y'all don't know, all right? But the reality is that trust is most important, and that's what I hope that you'll see um after watching me for a while, that I'm the same guy, right? Little glasses here sometimes. Let me see my way through these episodes, right? But but the reality is that you see that I'm a normal guy, right? I live in New York City, all right? I have three kids, all right? My youngest boy, my youngest child is a boy, and he's 18, just turned 18, all right? And I love my family. I'm a divorced man. I was married one time. I'm gonna get married again someday, somehow, right? I'm not rushing into that thing, but I'm a normal guy. I love people. I love, I can be a social butterfly, and I also can be very, um, I call it, what's the word? I can go into solitude. I can be by myself and enjoy being alone, and I can also love. I can also do well with among people and that kind of thing. I'm very flexible. I'm the kind of guy who can wake up in the morning, no issue. I can wake up in the night, no issue. I can go to bed late at night, no issue. Don't matter. I'm that kind of guy. All right. And I have a deep faith. My family tradition is very is a very religious one, if you want to put it that way, but it's very spiritual. Going back to my great grandparents and their parents, a legacy of ministers in our family and preachers and um, nurses and folks who are just progressive. Uh, but I realized that there's something about having freedom, financial freedom, not money hungry, not this want to get rich quick idea, but the fact that the dreams that I have in me, I always say, you know what? if I support a charity in my country, I don't just want you to send stuff there. I want to go there in person and feel people and see their smiles and be around them. If I'm going to do a charity or support a certain kind of way, I have ideas for Africa. I would like to go there. And when I go there, I want to go first class. It's a long trip, 16, 18 hours on the plane. Who wants to be in coach? Not me. Would you? And guess what? Finances allow you to do those things. I want to support my church. There's a mission that they have right now. All right. I'd love to support it in a more uh, 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 larger way, impactful way. All right. And so all I do is that how can I impact people? And as I'm impacted, I can impact even more. All right. So yes, so looking at our circle, it's important. And I've said it over and over again on my podcast. Who you hang with, who you stick around, who's speaking to your life, into your thoughts. It's important. Some things right now I can't even say because there are people. If I say it, they're going to they're going to come with doubts. And guess what happened? It is working, and they don't even know it's working, but they will still come with doubts because they don't know any better. I know someone right now who swears that what I'm doing, oh, it's this is that, is this is that. I'm thinking, no, it's not. I'm on the inside here. You're not. All right. So something I don't even share with people until it's time to share. All right. Very important. So your community, those around you, your circle, don't underestimate that stuff. All right. Sometime before you do something, you want to branch off into something, just do it on your own. Just look at it first, get your own connection, get your own vibe, because sometimes you speak it out too early to the wrong person. All right. And see how you align with it. I always say, write the list and say what I don't want to do and be honest about it. You may say, I don't want to recruit all these people. Write it down. You may say, well, I don't want to spend all this money for a business. Write it down. You may say, I don't want to be able to have these quotas to meet. Write it down. You may say, I don't want to. Guess what happened? Write it down. Then look at what being offered. Look at what I mean. Sorry. Look at what's being offered, and say, wait a minute. Oh, check. Oh, oh, check. Oh, low cost. Oh, that works. Oh my goodness. Check, check. Oh, then they can go. And that's what I've done. I wrote down and I have in my mind what I don't want. So it's like someone say, how do you know the real money or the fake money, opposed to the fake money or the real coin? Well, spend time to study the real coin. And when you know the real coin, anything else that's not the real coin, you'll know. You will know because you're so mm, knowledgeable about the real stuff that anything that's fake is easily recognizable. So your currency, my friend, is really your circle is your currency, and that's something that you really want to take into consideration. All right. So when you want to slow down, listen deeper, learn how your people think, move and decide. That's how your circle turns into income. All right. Slow down, listen deeper, learn how your people think, move and decide. That's how your circle turns into income. Now, it sounds pretty simple, straightforward, but it's to me is a process. And to me, again, it takes deliberate, intentional thinking and an approach. And of course, guidance as well to help you get those things fine-tuned, right? To realize the outcome of it. So we got the tools, y'all. We all have that phone. We all have it in our hands. All right. Grandpa have it, grandma have it, the kids have it. Mobile money moves. All right. The mobile. I mean, a lot of us are looking for mobility right now. And the phone, we do just about everything on that phone. All right. And it's like we're doing more and more and more on it. All right. So we're talking about the way I would look at money, how it comes to us. All right. Having access that we have now in our world, we can afford to travel with our business, be on vacation with our business, be at home with our business, on the go with our business, because of the different systems that are in place, how people are transforming their approach to business, making it more accessible to people, older, younger. All right. And so, therefore, having that mobility is important. That's why what I have here, as far as what I share, is highly mobile. And it's not just by accident, it is specifically curated and looked out for before it's being presented. How mobile it is. Can mommy do it? Can daddy do it? Or I can a young high school student do this? Can someone in their 60s do this? It's important. It's not a some random hopefully no. It's actually designed that way and shared in a way where I think you will see for yourself that this thing here is easily doable, easily uh duplicable, right? And grasp. And if it's not, please, that's where I need you to comment and say is if say what it is so I can know, because a big part of what happened is that in an assumption is what you communicate back to me or to us that help us to make it even more palatable or easily understood or connect with you better. Your participation is very important in this as well. All right. If you looking for that success. So yes. So mobile money moves are a very important thing. Let's look at this. Right now, here are four proven, these are four proven practical strategies that are working today. All right. Four proven strategies that are working today. One, create entry level income opportunities. Okay, studies show what? Studies show people are more likely to engage when the barrier is low. Offer, look at this, $5 to $25 to enter, to start. All right, make the service simple, and simple could mean that what they already do. A lot of things that people make money from, they already do it. Now is to how to do the same thing to make money. You spend every day, you buy every day, you shop every day. You don't stop shopping. How do you now manage that to bring an income? See, it's there. It has to be a beginner friendly access. Oh, that's there too. Easy, get started, easy entry, low entry for the masses. And what this does, this builds trust and momentum. Two, focus on income generation value. So right now, people are searching for what? Side hustles. I mentioned about the 17,000 people that got laid off, that lost their job. Sorry, lost their job because Spirit Airlines went out of business. Pretty sure right now, a lot of them are looking for something on the side right now as we speak. Remote work, mobile, from home. All right. They don't have to commute every day. And as the gas price increases every does, people are even more so going to want to stay home and don't travel. Skill based income. All right. The people who like to develop a skill is also is there because some type of opportunity or some kind of opportunities, they give you a sense of being confident, right? Talking to people, being self-aware, learn how to communicate better. Some of us are very introverted, become less introverted. All right. be more giving of ourselves. And those are important things to have, important skills. So a lot of folks may have the education and the know-how, but the skill sets to apply it is not there. They don't have those basic interactive skill sets, interpersonal skills. A lot of folks are lacking that. And so you want to get those things developed, but having the right construct or business type model can help it to develop all those things. Number three, use proof over promise. Use proof over promise. Research confirms social proof increases conversations by up to 34%. Show real results, real stories, real people, not theory or not theory. You want evidence. All right. Now, I'm not someone who is big on giving out financial numbers. I'm not big on that. I think with money. I'm weird that way. It's folks that I make it this amount of money, that amount of money. It's all good. I'm gonna say it differently. Like I give an example. Some years ago, I used to take any kind of gigs musically because I play the horn, and sometimes I would be so desperate for the money that I would drive a car that needs work, needs brake pads are gone. I mean, metal to metal. I'm going across bridges, going to different parts of New York City, risking nights driving because I needed that $200-300 so badly. All right. I remember days when I worried if I had an incident that cost $150 while I'm driving, I'll be in trouble. To now, the days are gone. Many gigs I don't take, not because my car has no brakes, because I just don't want to go. Some gigs it's a little too far. I don't want to drive back late at nights. The money's good, but I want to come back too late at nights driving, and so I don't take the gig. Some gigs they may have this high demand, and in the past I'll feel uncomfortable. I'll go and do it. These days, if I feel some kind of uncomfortability, I'm not doing it because of other means and methods of income. So I love to tell you that I'm making XYZ, XYZ. I can tell you where I'm at with my choices, with my way and approach of making things a lot easier for me mentally and emotionally and physically. And that's a major improvement. Right now, if I never had a one gig event for the next 3 months or 4 months, not one gig came in, I'll be fine. All right. And so, therefore, it's good to have the results and the proofs. And that's why I kind of tell folks that you check out my hubs, you go and look at stuff, click around, look at the network, look at what's going on. And that will give you just a little bit of insight. You want to get deeper? Once you join the thing, why don't you just leave your email? We can definitely make the connection there, make connection there. All right. I'll talk about my book. There it is. All right. A real book. It's not a fake book. I sit down, did the work. Thanks, coach, for letting me let me be able to say that. Keith, you did the work. You did the work. Yes, thanks, coach. I did the work. All right. Was it easy? No, but I did the work. Scroll down if you don't mind, engineer. You can scroll it. Yes, as you can see, uh, a program that talk about where you can, protect yourself. I use the program myself. I can show proof of it, evidence of me having issues and how they help me, and I'm excited about sharing it to help you and your family protect your family, especially legally. All right, I've used it. I've done it. It works. It's real. You can scroll down somewhere if you don't mind. All right. Passive income hub. You can check it out. What it's in there. I got information in there. videos to watch. All right. Shoot me an email. All right. The next level with Keith at Gmail. All right. Shoot me an email. Say, my name is XYZ. I want information on this. I can do that too for you. All right. Passive income. Amazing. Changing lives like crazy. All right. And so forth. So, what is the music that you're looking for? I can show it with my horn. What is you want looking for something in that area of family protection? Maybe you want somebody to come and speak at your event. Something motivational, something maybe inspiring, maybe a music workshop, maybe something on how to build income in a church setting or in a community setting. I have some important information I can bring to you, and I'm telling you, I believe next 2 years, 2 3 years, 2 3 years from now, income won't be an issue for you and your establishment. I know radio stations are asking for donation all the time. If they were to open and see what was here, maybe that would be the last of the worry about donations. All right, there's some things that are in place. Once you touch it, once you see it, it's like, wow, I didn't know it was this simple. I didn't know it was like this. So that's what I'm hoping to will happen. I'll connect with you. You'll understand what's going on, and you'll make the moves because I'm here every Monday night making the moves. I'm putting my mouth where my money is. All right. I'm showing up on Monday nights at 9, do my part. And I hope that I've earned your trust so far and it's growing. And you will make the effort to check me out as well. All right. And it's all good. All right. So, 4, simplify everything. Connective overload kills sales. All right. All right. So, what? Keep it what? Clear, direct, step by step. I have it here. And if people understand it quickly, they move like they're more likely to act on it. So right, so if people understand quickly, they are more likely to what to act on it. So we come down to our just about final thoughts or final place of this segment here. We're going to talk about action, but I want to give some spotlight to the partners. And if you will, take it away. I want to give some spotlight to a partner.
Mount Vernon, it's time. Stand behind leadership that puts literacy, integrity, and community first. Support Apostle Dr. Faith A. Walters for Library Trustee, a proven leader building stronger minds and brighter futures. Vote May 19, 2026. Learn more at wamo.org/faith for library trustee. Join us in supporting a leader who prioritizes literacy and integrity. Dr. Faith A. Walters has a vision for our libraries. Every vote counts. Together we can make a difference. Stop guessing. Start managing your people with confidence. If your business is growing, but your HR systems aren't, you're already feeling it. Miscommunication, burnout, turnover, and costly mistakes. The HR Resource Toolkit at sandrinedunkley.com/toolkit is your solution. This toolkit gives you practical HR tools you can use immediately. No fluff, no confusion, just structured, actionable support. Whether you're overwhelmed, under-resourced, or ready to level up, this is where you start. Access the toolkit now. sandrinedunkley.com/toolkit. HIDC, where structure meets strategy. People meet performance.
Awesome. So welcome you guys to support our partners. I think they're doing a phenomenal job and they're waiting for you to dive in and get the support that you desire. So yes, take action. It's a big, big, big part of it. So all that's said and done, all that will be said and have said can just fall by the wayside if action is not taken. All right. Take action now is going to be the key. And I stress it and I'll keep stressing it that we don't have a lot of time to move on what we're trying to do. All right. So if you're serious about growth, if you're serious, start here this week. Now, I've been putting some weekly activities, and I hope that you know are actually taking part and making it happen for yourselves. No pressure, but I think that these activities has value to it. So I would suggest that you to take part in and maximize it. So this week, looking at this activities, these activities here. One, identify. If you're serious about growth, start here. Identify. Are your people Rolex minded or Timex minded? Then are they right? Then because you're gonna have to, and then three, you're gonna have to adjust. All right, so let's take it again. If you're serious about growth, start this week. One, identify. Are your people Rolex minded or Timex minded? Two, adjust. Change one thing in your message to match them. Build. Create one simple offer that solves a real problem immediately. Because you know why? Right now, the people who win are not the loudest, they're the most aligned. Very important. I think these are very powerful to look at. Final thoughts. And again, I must say thank you. If you have watched me for this long, I appreciate you. You have no idea. And I hope that you have grasped some good things doing this podcast. The final thoughts. Don't get distracted chasing high-end clients when your assignment is to serve real people with real needs. Because here's what history and data shows us. Wealth is not built by impressions. It's built by consistent value and trusted relationships. Stay in your lane. Build, that's build your stack. Serve your people and the right client. They won't just come, they'll stay. So let me ask you, what's one shift you can make this week to better align with people you're called to serve? Drop in the comments. Drop it in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say. And if this hits you, man, if it hits you in a way that's profound, share it with someone who's building something real. Because I believe that sharing is really caring. All right. Again, thank you for tonight. Thank you for your time. It's meaningful to me. For those of you on Podbean, for you on Amazon Radio and Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you are, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being a part of this movement here, the next level with Keith. And I hope that you have an amazing week, new month, and you'll see the change that you're looking for begin to happen as you start taking action and really stepping out in faith, knowing that simple steps eventually will take you to the destination that you want to go. Thank you for watching. Thank you, coach. Thank you, the engineer, those behind the scenes. God bless every one of you. And see you on my next podcast, episode 20 coming up. God bless.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.